the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant have another problem on their hands. Officials with Tokyo Electric Power Company say the levels of radioactivity monitoring around more than 300 tons of highly radioactive water leaked last month out of the storage tank. The water's contents seem to be too acidic. Managers have assigned more monitors to check for radioactive materials.
I speak unto thee this day, and I say it is written in my word, and it is a true declaration, that the fool must be beaten with many stripes. That is, the fool will be beaten repeatedly because he is a fool. And I say, so it applies when any man or woman will stray from my way, will go whoring, will deviate from the course that I've set before them. What do? I say they prove they are fools, and I say they will be beaten with many stripes. And I say likewise, when any people will turn from me to take up the ways of the heathen, to take up the ways of ungodly pursuit, I say they prove to me they are fools. And yes, I withdraw my power, my presence from them, and they will be beaten with many stripes. Now I say, so it is likewise when a man, a woman, a people, a nation will go a-whoring from me, they will be beaten with many stripes. For I say it is me, the living God, who does order, who does dictate, and who does intend that fools will be beaten because they are transgressors against me. Now I say this day, when you look upon the suffering, the calamity, the hardship that is nigh at hand, why do you imagine it to be? I say it is simply because fools are wise in their own conceit. They imagine themselves as something that they are not. That is, they think themselves to be some proud thing, some great thing, when really they are nothing but fools. And I say they are beaten and beaten and beaten because of their transgressions against me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, know exactly what it is that fools have need of, and I say that I give them the same. But I say, if it is me that you seek to please and obey, if you walk circumspectly in obedience unto me, then I say that I, the living God, will give mercy unto thee. And I say that you do not need to be found under the wrath, as the fools are found under my wrath. For I say, if you will indeed continue in me, continue serving me, obeying me, then I say you are made wise in me. But I say, if you go in the way of violation, the way of transgression, the way of high-mindedness and pride, then I say you are evaluated a fool. Now I say this day, in the wicked generation that you are in, there are many fools who have turned aside. And I say that each one is blowing his own horn, he is calling attention unto himself and loving it so. And I say that each one is living in multiplied transgression against me with no respect at all. That is, they are not respecting my standard, my dictate, but I say they are going according to their own selfish ways, and I say they love it so. Now I say this day that I, the living God, never called thee to live in foolery, to live in vanity, to live in vexation and pride. But I say that I've called thee to walk circumspectly in me, coming forth in the truth, the light, the strength of who I am. That is, I have called thee to be a people who serve me in obedience, ever paying respect unto me and walking in my way. And I say that I've called thee to be thankful that it is me you are privileged to serve. For I say, if you will indeed be serving me in the fear of me, then I say you will continue steadfast. That is, you will continue to follow, to obey, to be in right standing with me. But I say, if you get your eyes full of adultery, you partake of the world and the vanities of the same, then I say you will be sorely discontent in me. And I say you will have a complaint, a murmuring on every hand, and I say it is because you have gone a-whoring from me. And I say it is me, the living God, who will give to thee the fool's treatment, because you have behaved as a fool. Now I say that a man can be made wise by adhering unto me, but I say that if he turns from me, what will he become? I say he will regress to the position of a fool, and there he will remain. For I say there is no man nor woman who departs from me, who remains ever present in wisdom. But I say they leave the same when they depart from the sound counsel that I provide. Now I say this day that I, the living God, will punish evildoers. That is, I will allow the wicked one to ravage them. That is, I will allow them to be overwhelmed and devoured, because they are not adhering unto me. But I say, when a man will seek to walk wisely, circumspectly, and ever respecting me, then I say that he's given the abundance of mercies by me. And I say that he is indeed brought forth, ever guided in the truth, the light, the strength, the mercy that I provide. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to go a-whoring from me. I do not call thee to be found in multiplied sorrows and transgressions, because you have violated me. But I say that I call thee to be thankful that it is me that you can be looking unto, believing and trusting in. And I say that I've called thee to be thankful that you can indeed be brought forth in the way that is truth and light, the way that is mercy and hope, and the way that is peace provided. For I say, if it is me that you keep on seeking to please, to obey and follow after, it is me, the living God, who will direct thee in my life. Now I say this day that I, the living God, have called thee to walk in the truth, to come forth in the light, to be in obedience unto me. And I say that I've called thee to seek your counsel of me, and not go in the way of fools. For I say that fools are ever high-minded and determined that they are right, refusing to receive sound counsel and walking in the counsel of their own understanding. And I say that fools are the ones who fall, who stumble, who crumble, and I say meet up with many sorrows and calamities, but I say they bring them to themselves. Now I say this day that I, the living God, have called my people to be identified with me, to be suffering for my name, and not because they are stupid fools. That is, not because they choose to do the wrong things and claim they are suffering for me. I say that is not counted worthy of me. That is, when a man will suffer because of his own stupidity, because he refuses sound counsel, because he is wise in his own conceit, no, he is not suffering for me. But I say that he's suffering because he's chosen to stray from my way. Now I say it is me, the living God, who does offer to thee the way that is truth and light, the way that is mercy and hope, and the way that is peace provided. And I say, if you will be accepting of that way, then you are ever kept in me. For I say that I, the living God, am the one ever present to direct, to guide, to instruct the ones who are indeed willing to be taught of me. But I say that the ones who think they know it all will go in a way wherein they literally destroy themselves. Now I say this day, if I, the living God, do give to thee a word of warning, a word of caution, I say you are meant to receive the same. And I say you are meant to be accepting of the truth, the light, and the mercy that I give thee, ever guided forth by me. And I say you are meant to be thankful that it is me, the living God, that you can be looking unto, believing, trusting, and hoping in, for I am indeed well able. And I say it is me, the living God, who will direct thee in that which I give thee time and again, for it is me you are meant to serve. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to walk as the weirdos who think they know it all and prove they are nothing but fools. For I say, for all of their great so-called bearing testimony of me, what do they prove? They prove they are foolish children, full of pride and their own wise conceit. And I say they literally make a disgrace of my name because they refuse to sit down and be taught by me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do intend that those who would be my disciples would be willing to endure discipling before they go forth. That is, they are not meant to be so full of pride and self-conceit that they think they know it all. That is, they are not meant to be so full of rebellion and lack of submission that they will submit to no man. But I say they are meant to be knowing, understanding, and realizing that it is me, the living God, who can guide them, direct them, and instruct them, and they are meant to accept the same. That is, they are meant to realize that I, the living God, can indeed use honorable vessels to impart the same truths to generation after generation. I say this day, be thankful that you do not know it all, that you can indeed be continuing to learn of me. And I say, be thankful that you can be humble enough to admit your need, to admit that it is me, the living God, who does delight to instruct thee in the way. For I say, if you will indeed stay in a place of submission unto me, I say you will not be found in a ditch. But I say, when you are wise in your own conceit, vainly puffed up, according to your own interpretation, I say you are proven to be a fool. Now I say this day, why not look to me, believe in me, trust in me, and know that I am able? That is, why not be thankful that I, the living God, am the one who will direct thee, correct thee, and instruct thee in the way of my life. And I say, why not be thankful that I purpose thee, that you can indeed be ever guided by me. For I say, it is me, the living God, who is righteousness. It is me, the living God, who is truth. It is me, the living God, who is mercy. Therefore I say, in a wayward, a vile, a wicked, and evil generation, be thankful, ever thankful, that it is me you are privileged to love, to serve, and obey. And I say, be thankful that you are uplifted, directed, and guided forth in the way that I give thee, which is the way of truth. And I say, be thankful that I purpose thee, that you can indeed be far from the way of fool, and the wrath that is found in the same. For I say that fools continually kindle me to wrath and fury and indignation because of their pride. And I say, because they are so stubbornly clinging to pride rather than clinging to me, I say they are the fools, the hard-headed fools, who pay for the same. Now I say this day, if you look upon what it is that I, the living God, desire to give thee, I say it is the way of eternal life. And I say, if you will be thankful, ever purposed, directed, and guided by me, then you are ever strengthened in me. And I say you are given the blessedness, the truth, the light, the mercy, and the peace of who I am, for it is me, the living God, who is present to give thee the same. And it is me, the living God, who is present to direct thee in that which I give thee, which is the truth always. Now I say this day, do not be so wise in your own conceit that you receive to hear what it is that I say to thee and obey the same. But I say, be living in the fear of me, knowing that I, the living God, do indeed hold your very life in my hands. And I say, it is me, the living God, who does indeed desire that you seek to be pleasing me at all times. That is, not just giving unto me a paltry sacrifice and thinking I am pleased in the same. Now I say this day that I, the living God, am thoroughly fed up with a foolish, a wayward, a vile generation that is full of stubbornness and pride. And I say, it is me, the living God, who is indeed ventilating my wrath, my fury, my indignation upon them day by day. And I say, it is me, the living God, who is giving to the fools their ultimate reward, which will indeed be the damnation of their souls. But I say, while they remain in this life, it is me, the living God, who will send many stripes upon them, for they needs be beaten by me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to fellowship fools. I do not call thee to walk in their drunkenness, but I say that I call thee to remain sober in me. That is, ever looking unto me, believing and trusting me, for I am indeed well able. And I say that I call thee to be thankful that you can indeed be partaking of the truth, the light, the strength, the mercy that I give thee every single day. For I say, if you will really cherish the salvation I've given unto thee, you will not be as the fools who throw the same away. But I say that each day you will thank me and praise me and live in appreciation towards me, because you have been spared from hell. And likewise, because I have given thee the privilege, the opportunity to live afresh and anew in me. I say, therefore, this day continue steadfast to follow, to serve, to obey me, for it is me, the living God, you are meant to please. And I say, continue to be uplifted in the truth, the light, the strength that I provide, ever made glad for my way. For I say that it is fools who are ever contending against me, criticizing and despising my way, because they are proud in the same. That is, they are proud in their foolery, they are proud in their nonsense, they are proud in their lies. But I say that the true and faithful will remain ever thankful for the mercies that I give, because they see that it is indeed only through me that they are redeemed. And I say they will not grow bored nor weary of my way, but I say they will rejoice in my way because they are actively alive in me. I say give thanks and praise.